Hello everyone, this is just a little impromptu update for the Skorne CID for those of you who haven't looked at some of the changes. Just out here to record some of my first thoughts looking at it. So this is more of a first thoughts rather than a playtest on the models. So first up, the Adder Sentinel. Fury is still 3. Cost has gone down to 14. And it's gained Gunfighter, with its Venom Blaster becoming a Spray 10 POW 14. I think this is an interesting decision. It's not what I was expecting, and makes me a little concerned that the Sentinel might be a little unplayable. With Speed 3, it's not getting anywhere to use that Spray 10. And by the time that it's in melee combat, you're looking at a beast that's going to have at least 1 or 2 systems down while it's in combat, which is never good for anything. It's just, I don't know what they're thinking with this, unless they're doing some boost in speed or maybe some movement shenanigans. I hope. Otherwise, the Adder Sentinel is just something that I won't run anymore. Next up is Bronzeback Titan. Looks like they're giving it more things to play with, as they've completely worked Pusinance, changing it to give unyielding when put up, gains hyper aggressive, and its war gauntlets gain beatback. So, with all of these changes to the Bronzeback, I'm still quite happy. Like I said in my previous video, the Bronzeback didn't really need anything more. Pusinance being just a flat unyielding is so good, especially with making the Bronzeback more survivable, giving it +2 arm buff while in melee. Just wow. Okay. Hyper aggressive. Little concerned that it'll get out of formation a little bit, so might need to throw something in front of it just so it doesn't run away. But giving it a little bit more of a movement isn't bad. The hyper aggressive, I'd like to see it on an Adder Sentinel, but then again, thinking that over, looks more like people won't be shooting at the Adderus, because it is, despite what I say about it, it still does have Carapace, and it still is arm 23 against shooting, which is a tough nut to crack. Beatback on its War Gauntlets, well, we got it back. And it's not a one cost to. Next is the Mammoth. Um, it's an interesting change. They said that they want to make it more of a gun platform and give it more options in melee, which I always use the Mammoth as kind of a melee beat stick anyways. But this is definitely tempting for me to use it as a gun battery. And having the pain maddening and the full battery fire is silly. Silly isn't good. It's just the full battery fire, making the weapon a POW 20 on a direct hit, and throwing models D6 inches away from the attacker. It's hilarious. You throw that into a unit that needs shield wall. Not the Iron Fang pikemen, because they ignore blasts in certain lists. But just throwing it into a shield wall unit just makes it funny, because all of their shield wall guys are now all over the place, and the initial guy that you hit is just gone. It also is great for taking down heavily armored heavies that are trundling up the field. Yeah, this looks like I'd be using it as a gun battery as well. And having the tusks range 3 also makes it funny. 3-inch on anything is just hilarious for me. Other than that, Mammoth. I've always liked the Mammoth as a model, as a set piece. It's great. I might have to bring out my second one and create some weird dual Mammoth lists and just laugh my head off. Next up is the Cannoneer. Like they said, they want it different from the Sentinel. Well, the Sentinel is very different. So, looking at what they did to the Cannoneer, they put its Fury up. Fury 4. Now it's like its other Titan counterparts. Definitely brings it in that range where I would field them in a ranged list more. If I wanted more guns and I'm not fielding my silly Theory Machine dual Mammoth list. Just allows for a little bit more on them, looks like, and puts them in the realm of being on par with the Gladiator and Sentinel as viable options for a Titan. Next we go to the Immortals, and they've lowered their cost so that they're now cost 8 for a minimum unit and 14 for a maximum. I'm gonna need more Immortals. That just might make 4 units of them possible. And laughing all the way as I field 40 Immortals. Oh, my wallet's gonna suffer. Uh, Next up is the Extoller Advocate. Um, they changed Grave Mists to give concealment and +2 defense, rather than just giving it giving them. That'll give them a little bit more protection while in combat. I believe that they would be a little bit better, but that's also a pipe dream. Maybe at their original cost, they could have unyielding +1 mat. I would like to see. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. I'm supposed to be talking about the Advocate. Um, but the change to Grave Mists is good. I like to see that. Um, just giving them a static +2 defense and then concealment on top of it. Uh, gives them an option for surviving up into melee for anything that ignores concealment. Next on their list was Abidan the Keeper. I'm not going to talk about that here because I haven't fully looked into his stats or anything, so I can't really make a complete judgment on that or give you my thoughts. But the one thing that really struck me was Immortal Companion, where if there's an immortal, or if this model has been destroyed and not returned to play, during your control phase, any Ancestral Guardian can spend a soul token to put the model into play within 2 inches of the Ancestral Guardian. That is hilarious. You can just throw this guy at whatever you want. Let him die. And then an Ancestral Guardian will just pop him back up and here you go. Have fun. Just I need to take a look at his stats and see if that would just be a hilarious little interaction. Next up is the Ancestral Guardian. They gave the halberd an increase in power, just to make them more capable combatants. Sounds pretty good. I think that's a good addition, and probably something that would be good to have. Good little boost in power. Optimus Marketh here is the next model. Harmonious Exaltation. Finally, a Harmonious Exaltation. Everybody else has one. We never did. Now we do. Great. That's all I gotta say about that. He will definitely be seeing more play on my field. The Extoller Novelette. Oh boy. Sorry for butchering this word absolutely. Nav it. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm just gonna call that an extoller. Okay, so its hitting power seems to be the focus of the changes they made. Um, it in regards to its support to immortals and just other units, having an action that construct model in its range, its command range, gains +2 strength for the round. So only one model gains a little harder hit. It's okay. I would like to see that as a friendly faction construct model / unit more than just a single model target. Other than that, it's quite good. Bring the immortals up to POW 15, I believe. Yeah, POW 15 on their attack. Now, next is the Immortal Vessel. They haven't looked at its stat line again. But giving +2 to magic attack rolls against enemy models in this model's command range seems pretty good. Puts allows Zal to kind of sit back and fling a spell out while the vessel is around the enemy, not engaging the enemy, but just around the enemy. Maybe throw some spells in there, like Mage Sight, just to hit on what you need to. And I really need to update myself on what Zol's spells are, because I don't know what else would use that, unless the the Stone Extoller. Well, I'll just call it that. Unless that has another magic ability that I haven't looked at yet. So the last bit is the Exalted Theme List. And the first item that has changed is the Despoiler is now allowed in the list. So, yay! We can have that running around causing some havoc. Alright, that's my first thoughts on week 2 for the Skorne CID. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the changes they made this week. And as always, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content. And see ya!